Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about growing your personal brand in 2020 because growing a personal brand can be one of the best ways for you to get more customers and clients for your business. It can be a good way for you to network and also just command more respect and authority in your industry. Now, that's not to say there aren't certain drawbacks to growing a personal brand. For example, the fact that it does take a lot of time and energy and focus, which means you have to take that time, energy, and focus away from other things, such as maybe building a business. So that's why I want to talk to you guys about my strategy moving forward, since I do have a business to run and I have to prioritize certain things. And I have spent a lot of time testing different methods and strategies of growing a personal brand that I think there are some valuable lessons I can provide here, because I may not know everything in the world. I may not be a personal branding expert, but I've been around the block a few times and I have tried a lot of different methods and strategies. So in this video, I just want to share with you guys exactly what I would avoid. And again, my personal plan moving forward for 2020, because it has worked very well for me in the past year. And I'm going to be continuing to use this strategy moving forward. So with that said, let's just hop right into the video. Now, one thing I want to cover before we jump deeper into this video is the fact that having a personal brand and having followers is not the same thing. And most people usually confuse that as the same thing. Now, the reason why I want to say this is because most of the time what I see people try and do when they try and jump into social media is they focus a lot on the numbers and the followers. And what I've seen to be true is that that's not really what's important. Because if you look at why most people jump into social media, it's for either business or some type of supportive measure to their lifestyle, right? Now, for the sake of this channel, I'm gonna assume that because this is a business channel. If you're watching this, I'm assuming you're on social media to grow your business. Now, most people think that it's all about the numbers. And that's what I used to think as well. And I spent a lot of time posting because that's what people said you needed to do in order to grow your business and grow your social media account, was get more numbers. Now, what I've realized over the years is that I've met a lot of people who have 500,000, 1 million followers, and they're broke. They're not making any money. And then I meet other people who have 20,000 followers and they're earning a lot more money because they understand the business aspect behind things. And that's one of the first things I want to cover is the people who have the numbers are doing it in reverse order. They're trying to focus on growing an audience. And then once they have the audience, they're like, okay, what do I do now? What do I do, right? I have these people, what do I do with them? And you see that all the time with a lot of influencers. Whereas you see other people who have a business, right? They start learning a specific skill, a specific craft, and then they use that to brand themselves as this person, right? I'm an expert in photography, I'm an expert in marketing, whatever it is, they use that as their brand, right? I'm Julian, I'm an expert, whatever. And then they use that brand image to go get clients and use that to their advantage. And you don't have to have a huge number of followers to have that help you out, right? You just have the immediate respect and authority that it gives you from having curated content on your Instagram, on your YouTube, and on your website. And that's one of the first things I want to say, because the first step that I would do moving forward, and for anyone that wants to start doing this, is not to focus on the followers. It's to focus on putting out just enough content to curate your brand. And this is kind of like in the middle of what some people say. There's a lot of business owners that say, ignore social media, it's a complete waste of time, focus on growing your business. And then there's other people that say, like Gary Vaynerchuk, you need to post 5 fucking times a day and go on Instagram, comment, respond to every single comment. And that right there is also just a complete waste of time. I'm kind of in the middle, all right? What I'm saying is I think it's a good idea to curate just enough content, okay? Maybe post like 10 or 20 Instagram photos on your Instagram account, make a website that just shows people what you do, make sure it looks right, it's designed decently well, and then also have a few YouTube videos online. I'm not saying you have to post every single day. You can put out just enough content to the point where you have some authority and trust to when people look you up on Google or on Instagram, on YouTube. That right there is enough to have a personal brand. And that's what I would set the foundation with when I'm growing my business. And then I would focus all of my time on my business, right? If you look at me now, my social media isn't really that exciting. I post maybe once or twice a month, right? I barely spend any time on social media. But my income is about 10 times more than it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when I was posting on social media almost every single day. And on top of the fact, a lot of my money comes from social media. So How do I do that? I do that through advertising, because I can just pay to reach people instead of trying to hopefully reach people by posting every single day. I would rather just pay people and have that 100% certainty that I give Facebook $100, I'm gonna reach whatever, 1 million people or 100,000 people with that money that I gave them, right? When you're posting organically, it's kind of like, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I like having more control over my business, so I'm willing to spend a little bit of money to have that dial and control things. Now, down the line, once you have your business developed, you have a skill, you have value to provide, that's when I would focus on growing an audience. And this is the exact opposite of what you see most people do. Most people try and grow the audience, and then once they have the audience, they try and provide value. Whereas I think it's a much better strategy to start focusing on your business, invest in yourself first. And I can tell you from personal experience that investing in yourself is one of the biggest returns on your investment that you're gonna get, period, in life, right? Invest into yourself. And then once you've invested enough into yourself where you can actually go on social media and provide value to other people, that's when you should go on social media, and only when you have the means to actually do it, right? I see a lot of people, especially here in Bali, where people just fly out here, they throw a Hail Mary and they're like, I'm gonna fly to Bali and I'm gonna make it on Instagram. And you're just like, oh my God, you're living in like a $50 per month, like little shack. Like, are you okay? Do you need food? And it's because these people don't have any strategy in place. And my strategy last year was to completely ignore social media. I probably didn't post for about a year, focus on my business 100% of the time. And only once I had the resources to actually post the type of content that I wanted to post on social media was when I started posting again. And to my surprise, well, not surprise, to my expectations, it worked out pretty well, right? I ignored social media for a year. I used all that focus that I got back. And in case you don't know how important focus is, actually Bill Gates and Warren Buffett both say that focus is the #1 thing that they would credit all of their success to.
A group of about 20 write down on a sheet of paper one word that they thought accounted for their success. And Bill and I, who may only met twice, didn't know what the other one was writing down. We both wrote down the same word, which was focus.
So that right there should tell you just how important focus is. So I ignored social media, which is distraction, the opposite of focus, and shifted all that focus towards my business, right? And only now that I have my business up to the point where I want it to be, am I going back to social media to grow my business even further. And that's like the last stage that you should be going through when you're growing your social media or your business. That should be the last step. First step, lay the foundation. It's gonna require a ton of focus. Once you have that up and running, then you can add social media back onto there, because otherwise you're not gonna have time to focus on everything and provide an income for yourself. And I see it here all the time with people that struggle on social media and on Instagram. They don't know how to make things work on social media and make money because they don't have the business understanding down yet. And they try to start with social media when that's actually the last step you should do, when you should first focus on providing value and learning how to actually run a business and then focus on social media. Now, one of the last things I wanna mention, part 2 of this video, is what would I recommend for growing a social media? Well, in case you guys didn't know, I think a lot of you guys probably didn't know, I've been around the block when it comes to social media. I've done a lot of gray area marketing tactics on social media, right? I've been places where most people have never been when it comes to social media marketing, like automation, bots, all of that stuff. And what I can tell you right now is that growing an Instagram, for a fact, is super, super hard, way harder than it was 5 years ago. And first of all, there was way less competition 5 years ago. Now everyone is competing for each other. But also on top of that, there were a lot of people 5 years ago using these gray area marketing tactics like automation and bots. And those people grew very, very fast because Instagram didn't have anything holding those people back from automating the hell out of their accounts. Now, today, Instagram has massive limitations on everything. So even the people that are using automation to grow their Instagram accounts, they're getting about 0.1% of the results that all of those meme pages you see today were using to blast their accounts out there like 5 years ago. Because back then, you could follow and unfollow like 100,000 accounts a day. Instagram wouldn't even know. They didn't have anything out there to stop these people from doing that. Now, if you even attach an automation to your Instagram account, you're gonna get flagged, you're gonna get banned. You just don't wanna do it, right? So from what I've seen is a lot of people who are pretty high up there on Instagram and have a following and have some type of audience and personal brand, those people grew their audience multiple years ago. It's really rare to see people nowadays growing very fast on Instagram and just getting started. However, on YouTube, I see that to be the opposite, or I still see people to be growing very fast to this very day and doing so organically. And also on top of that, the fact that YouTube is something I've seen where people can still grow organically, whereas Instagram is just, it's fast race to the bottom. YouTube also pays their audience or their content creators a lot more than they do on Instagram. For example, I know a few people that have 500,000 or 1 million followers on Instagram. Depends who you are, but I know some people that they're doing posts for like $1,000, right? $1,000, cool. If you can make a post for $1,000, that might be kind of cool. But then you look at people like Graham Stephan, who has 1 million subscribers. And if you look at his YouTube channel, that 1 million subscribers isn't earning him $1,000 per upload. He's earning about $160,000 per month from those 1 million subscribers. And that's not even off of his own products or anything he's selling. That's just off YouTube ad revenue alone. Instagram doesn't even provide that. They don't provide any type of ad revenue for their content creators. So that is one of the main reasons why I have decided to spend more time on YouTube and post on YouTube. And still, even with that, I spend about 5 hours per week on these videos, right? I film these videos once a week. I edit them, film them, shoot them all same day, upload them, and that's it. I spend as little time consuming social media. I spend as little time creating content for social media. Once I have the borders open back up, I'll be flying, some videographers out here to help me create content and just take my mind off of it so I can focus more on my business, because that is what gives me the highest ROI for my time. So that is pretty much the strategy that I'm going to be using moving forward. I have Instagram, I upload once in a while. I'm not really focused on that. YouTube, I think, might be worth a little bit of time and energy to actually grow, because I still think there's some hope there, and it also has a lot more of a return on your investment if you do grow it. Whereas Instagram, even if you do grow it, you're gonna have to spend a lot more time and energy trying to monetize that, whereas YouTube, it's a bit easier to monetize. And other than that, that is pretty much my recommendation. I would recommend for anyone watching this channel to focus on investing in themselves, growing their business, and providing value before you actually start to grow your audience. And for those people that are just doing this for business reasons, you can create your personal brand without having an audience, okay? Just curate your content, be done with it. That's what I did. I made over $100,000 last year without really even posting a single thing, right? I just had all the content I already had from the years before, and that was enough to show people that I knew what I was talking about, right? I didn't have to consistently post all the time. So with that said, again, hopefully this helps you guys out a little bit. I just wanted to make this video because I see a lot of people out there wasting time on social media, and it's not really giving them the return on investment that they're looking for, and there are better ways to go about it. So with that said, that's pretty much the end of this video. Also, something exciting news. Yesterday, I just launched a new program that I'm coming out with, the Course Creator Accelerator. And this is pretty much a program where I teach people how to not only set up their own online business, I also give you guys pretty much all of the templates, everything I've created for my business. And I pretty much allow you to copy and paste every single setting, all the plugins, my entire website. I even actually give you my entire website templated so that you can import my website creators training to your own website and use that as a template for yourself, because this is one of the #1 things I saw people struggle with was creating the website and then setting up the automations and sales. So I templated everything, the website, all the scripts, all the emails, all the outlines that I use for everything. So that literally all someone needs to do is to just insert their product and be done with it, and pretty much skip a year of just trial and error, trying to figure out the technical stack and trying to figure out all the little nuances that you go through when you're building an online business. But again, that is only for people that already know what their market is, what value they can provide, and people that are really willing to work at this, because this isn't like a beginner program. This is something a little bit more advanced. So if you want to check that out, I'll put the link down in the description of this video. Other than that, I hope this video was valuable to you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.